Hey everybody, welcome back to Battlestar Galactica Remembered, and today I've got a really special video today because this one wasn't even planned, and the reason why is because we're going back to the costume category, and we're going to be taking a look at this. Oh yeah. Now, for many of you who were with me a few videos ago when I did the unboxing of the Magnoli Clothier's Battlestar Galactica Warrior jacket, I'm going to put a link down below so you can see that if you haven't seen that one. I strongly urge you, if you are in any way, shape, or form interested in the Battlestar Warrior jacket or wanting to get one, I said in that video that there are basically two places on the face of the planet that I know of currently where you can get an absolute, A-quality, total style and design, looking like it just came off of the set with awesome quality and with the correct buckles. That's the key right there. And there are only two places, and that's Magnoli Clothier's and Galactic Costume on Etsy. Now, Galactic Costume, I had mentioned previously, he had sold a jacket before, and I didn't get it. It wasn't my size or anything. And he said it was like a promotional thing he put together and whatever, and so he sold it some months last year sometime. And he's the only other one that I know of. He's a costumer, basically, by the name of Stefan Dorian. He's out of Quebec, Canada. And he does excellent work. I have his warrior uniform, which I will be getting to probably next. The very next costume video I'm going to do is probably his warrior uniform. And that is, like I said, we've been moving toward the high of the highs on these costume pieces. And we have now arrived at the jacket level, right? We had Magnoli and now Galactic Costume. This is it. I mean, this is incredible. And the reason why I say I wasn't even planning to do this one is because I was just, poking around on Etsy one day, just a couple of months ago, and I went to Galactic Costume, I went to his website, and all of a sudden he had another jacket listed. And I'm like, hey, look at that, And he puts up the measurements for it, and this one was completely done. This was not a custom piece, okay? And so he starts putting up the measurements, and I'm looking at all those measurements, and I start looking like, the chest and the waist and the length and the whole bit. And I'm like, those are exactly my measurements. What's going on? So that was the first thing that caught my eye. The second thing that almost made my eyes pop out, remember how, we've been talking that pretty much you're not going to get a Battlestar jacket for less than like $500 to $600. I mean, Galactic Costumes jackets, he's quoted me a price of about $550. When you add shipping and taxes, you're looking at about $600. Magnoli Clothier's, about $700, right? Custom, now these are custom, right? That's for your measurements and everything. So that's what you're looking at for a Battlestar jacket now. You can't go wrong. You're not going to go wrong with either Magnoli or Galactic Costume. They have the correct buckles. You can see all the detailing here. I mean, it is beautiful. Has the patch. Notice I'm not wearing collar pins. It does not come with collar pins, but it does come with the Galactica patch, okay? Everything is perfect. I'm going to turn around. You can kind of see there the back, right? One piece, got the little cuff design on the back, nothing on the front, this kind of thing. All the design and the style pieces are there. Correct buckles. Looks awesome. This is A-plus stuff. Well, anyway, all of a sudden on the listing, I see the price that he has it for, and my eyes about popped out of my head. He sold this jacket for $288. I know. I don't know why. It's about 50% off. Again, this was not custom, but he sold his previous one for over $500, and that one wasn't custom either. So I'm not sure why. I don't know whether this was, the interior. It has a nice poly interior. There are no pockets. Now, I don't know if in his custom designs, his the commissions that he takes, I don't know whether it's finished better inside. You can see there are some like little rough seams where it's stitched over and that sort of thing. No pockets, like I said, but you're not looking at the inside of the jacket. You're looking at the outside of the jacket. And so $288. Sorry, if you looked at that, I thought about it for about 5 seconds, and I said, well, I kind of want a Galactic Costume jacket so I can do a show and kind of show you what they're like. And when that price was, oh my goodness, I thought, okay, that's it. I thought about it for about 5 seconds, and sorry, I jumped at it. Sorry you couldn't buy it out there, but I had to do it to show you all what it was like and to complete my collection. But I think pretty much that's it. I'm not buying any more jackets. I'm done. I've got all, you know, the ones I need, and especially the two that are currently still offering this jacket with, again, the correct buckles, detailing, styles, material, everything. And that is Magnoli and Galactic Costume, okay? And so you can see here, but the material is just beautiful. This butter suede, Alova suede. It almost feels like a real leather suede, like my Magnoli jacket. Remember, my Magnoli is an actual leather suede, the whole thing. This is not. This is, you know, the Alova suede, but it is. I mean, it feels beautiful. The color contrast between the body and the sleeves, you'll notice it's got the seam right down the shoulders, exactly how the jacket on the shows were put together. Now the shoulders are not leather; it's the same material, but it just has a really nice contrast. If you really look at the jackets on the show, the shoulder pieces, there's not a lot of color contrast between the shoulder and the body. A lot of vendors, I think they tend to put the shoulders way too dark, in a dark brown. Still looks good, you know, with the contrast. But if you really look at the show and pictures of these jackets that they use, you know, that Richard Hatch and, you know, Herb Jefferson and Dirk Benedict used, there's not a lot of color contrast between the body and the shoulder. So he really got this right. Again, it has all the detailing here, down here as well. The buckles are the A-grade buckles. So, I mean, this is A+ right here. This is going to look like it walked right off the set. So he does excellent work. And then remember, he does customize. The only thing he did, the sleeves were a little bit long on the listing. And he said he would shorten them. I needed them shortened by about 1.5 inches for free. So he did that. And so ends up really nice. It's got the split cuffs right there going past the seam a little bit, which is correct, by the way. That's awesome. Just has the one little seam underneath on the back. Everything just absolutely perfect. So this is it. Again, there is no excuse now. If you want a Battlestar Galactica Warrior jacket, and I mean looking like it came off the screen, you got Magnoli and you've got Galactic Costume on Etsy. Magnoli Clothiers has their own website. You just go to magnoliclothiers.com. And on Etsy, Galactic Costume, no space in between the two words, by the way. It's just Galactic Costume together on Etsy. And you'll see his stuff. He usually doesn't have a lot for sale, but if he doesn't, contact him and ask him about doing a jacket, custom sizing, and the whole bit. And there you go. You can be well on your way to getting a Colonial Warrior ensemble. And by the way, the last thing I'll mention is that with Galactic Costume, he will, since he is the only person on the planet that I know of doing the warrior uniform, the tan uniform, and like I said, that's the next one I'm going to do. I have his uniform. I have seen him before put up a bundle, jacket and uniform, for about $1,100. Now you think, whoa, that's a lot. But yeah, but you know, you break it up into 3 pieces, jacket, tunic, and pants, and you're coming out to less than $400 per piece, which, you know, is not bad. If you bundle it, it's a better price. Anyway, I'm just saying, like I said, I'm just here to let you know what's out there. I'm doing a lot of these reviews with stuff that is available. Like I said, that was one of the things I wanted to do. You know, we still got a lot to go, props and other costume pieces, but they are no longer available. These are the ones that are still available. You can get them literally today, once you're done. I keep saying, right? Once you're done watching this, go to the website and contact them, and you can get one for yourself, right? So that's what I wanted to do, to give you those options. You know, back in the day, 20, 25 years ago, there was other options as well, much cheaper. Like I said, jackets were $269. And so that's why, like, I'm on cloud 9 right about now. I got this one for $288. Awesome. Awesome. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know what's out there, and you never know what kind of deal you can maybe get. And I got a great deal on this one. Still just, you know, very surprised that he was offering it at that price, and I had to jump on it. So that's it. The Galactic Costume Battlestar Galactica Warrior jacket, absolutely A+ in everything. Style, design, materials, and, you know, you can get it, like I said, order it, custom size, have him quote you the price and all that kind of stuff. But contact him. Stefan Dorion is his name, up in Quebec, Canada. Galactic Costume on Etsy. Long live Battlestar Galactica, and I will see you in the next video.